What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about armoring. Alright, this is going to be a decently lengthy video. I'm going to try to go through it as quick as I can, but there are some caveats to armoring that will make your life a lot easier. And I'm really hoping I can help out. It can be a long road. I was able to get my armoring up to 200 in about 2 days. It was not that difficult for me. I'm used to grinding. We did level 200 furnishing first. And that one can be a heck of a grind depending on what schematics you find and things like that. So armoring wasn't too bad, but with these little tricks that I can teach you, it'll make your life so much easier, and you'll be able done pretty quick, especially if you have people in your guild. Shout out to Dark Stags, who helped me out a lot in this endeavor. It helped me get up to 200 armoring pretty dang quick, minus some obvious grinding on my own part. But first thing we want to look at when you're looking at armoring, okay, this is something that I want you guys all to make sure you have done. All right, because you're not going to be able to do this efficiently without spending a boatload of money if you do not have your refining professions up high, preferably maxed, okay? Because you need either one of those professions maxed. You either need smelting, leatherworking, or weaving, either maxed or high enough to where you can make the top tier refining agent other than the level 200. Because we're not going to be using runic leather, we're not going to be using phoenix weave, and we are not going to be using asmodean bars to make this armor. Now the only caveat to that is if you're making armor for your guild mates. If you guys are making armor for them, one, that's free XP. So as I did my armoring, I was like, hey, you guys need any armor, let me know. This is the level that I can make it at for you. Armoring trophies are also important for that also. If you guys don't have 3 houses, you need to get on that soon. Alright, crafting is going to get more and more important as we get the updates to the expertise system come 2022. The mediation to your gear score is not going to affect your crafted items, okay? So if you find something out in the wild, or if you buy something off the trading post that's almost 600 gear score, but your watermark, we'll say that for now, but your expertise level is what it's going to be going forward. If that is 520, you find a 600 gear score item, you're only going to gear score on that item is going to be in the middle of the two. Okay, so what? That's 560. So you're going to have to keep an eye on that. But if it's a crafted item, they have said the crafted items will stay at the gear score they are crafted at. As of right now, as of this video releasing, that is what the devs have said in the post. So crafting is going to become very, very important. All right, now back to what we're talking about here. We want to make sure we have either leatherworking, weaving, or smelting up all the way, because in those top tiers from 150 to 200 armoring leveling, we're going to need either orichalcum, infused leather, or infused silk. Now, some people will argue with me that the lower crafted items are going to be the easiest for you to get XP-wise. All right, now, I would say back in the day, yes. All right, but your XP percentage that you're going to get per level as you level up through 200 armoring is going to be really low on those items. Yes, you can do it that way, but I didn't want to sit there and spend all of the tax it would have been to make those low level items. Okay, this is something you guys need to think about when you're making this. It's how much gold you have. All right, because I'm going to show you 2 different ways of leveling up from 150 to 200 that I think are okay, but one's going to use more material and one's going to cost more gold to craft. All right, so if you look at my screen right now, just to show you a little example about this, we have a linen shirt. Okay, this is all level 1, so this is where you guys are going to start crafting. I personally did linen because if you go down to Windsward, go over to the little fishing spot, Hermit Shrine area, there is fiber all throughout here. I would go hit fiber for about 30 minutes and be somewhere around 5k fiber. I do 45. Usually I can get around the 7,500 that'll fill my bags. But that's what I did. Turned it into linen. Not only does that get your weaving up, So if you're thinking about doing this and your weaving's really low, it's a really good way of doing it. It's going to get your harvesting level up if you guys haven't had that either. And it's going to be a very cheap way for you to get all of that going. Personally, I did not use any of the metal crafting for leveling my armoring. Now you can. I'm going to show it really quick. I don't think it's really ideal for leveling right now, but if you are a person who has max smelting and you have like none of those other refining professions up, you can use it. But in my experience, it's easier to find the higher tier level materials for leatherworking and weaving than it is to go around hit orichalcum all day. All right, but if you have a crap ton or if it's really cheap on your server, it might be a possibility. So all of your heavy armor is made over in your forge. Okay. Now, one caveat to this also is, guys, when you are doing the outfitting station or the forge, you may have to also cater to what level tier your settlements have on your server. Okay, so if your settlements on your server don't even have a level 5 forge, then orichalcum items at the top tier aren't going to be the way that you can do things, because you need that tier 5. All right. Same thing with your outfitting station. You're not going to be able to do the leather or the weaving if there's no level 5 outfitting station. So you're either going to have to produce those level 4 items, or you're going to have to try to get somebody to level it up, or use your smelting. Okay, so this has all your heavy armor in it. You got your iron. This is where you're going to start from 0 to 50. Then you go to steel, which is 50 to 100. Star metal from 100 to 150. Now the steel to star metal, look at that jump. All right, you're looking at 800 armoring for a helmet for steel, 30 or 3,000 armoring for your star metal. All right. And I just want to kind of show this off. They adjusted these levels because they wanted to make sure that those higher tier items are being used to craft things. You're going to craft steel with 3 iron ingots and some flux, and then it's going to take 2 steel ingots and some iron, star metal ore, flux, and charcoal to get you up to the star metal. All right, so it's 2 for 1 here. So the XP value is actually going to be a lot better to do the star metal. You are going to use more flux. You're going to have to use the star metal ore, and you are going to have to use charcoal, okay? Those are just tools of the trade. This is one of the reasons I did not go with smelting, is because, one, you can't get smelting prices down, all right? It's going to be super expensive if you buy stuff. Flux on my server is the most expensive out of all the materials. Personally, what I did on my server, where I'm on K-Pacha East, is I went with the leatherworking because aged tannin was super cheap at the time. All right, so I just bought I think I bought over 4,000 aged tannin, and I went through and made a whole bunch of infused leather. That's going to be down the line. So let's recap 0 to 50 really quick. I went through. What you want to do is, if you guys have the money for it, like I said, this is 32 cents per linen glove right now with the tax at WierdRedBeard. I think it's a little lower over in Everfall, where I did all of my crafting, because I have almost level 70 in Everfall right now. It did reduce the prices down quite a bit. All right, but you're gonna want to look at the gloves. All right, it doesn't matter what level you're in. If you are okay with paying the tax per item, gloves is going to be your way to go. All right, it's going to take 4 of your top tier cloth, or your top tier. Let me find it for you guys. Or your top tier leather. Okay, so the gloves is going to take 4. Now, this is something that I also tell everybody too when I go over the armoring with them. I've done it for a couple of the guildmates. If you do the shirts, they do cost more materials. Okay, you're going to be spending a lot more materials to do these items, but you get 420 XP versus 108. All right, so it's almost 4 times the amount of XP. In the higher levels, it's not that much. I think at the highest level we're looking at for armoring would be your, let me get to it. you're going to make like your infused leather gloves are going to be 4,500 XP, but your shirt is going to be 17. So you have 4 leather per glove, all right? Or your shirt is going to be 22, which is the same thing at the lower levels too. It's the same amount of materials, just different materials themselves. So it's going to take, you're actually going to make way more XP in the long run making gloves than we will with shirts. So it's going to level up quicker, and it's going to use less materials. All right. So from level 0 to 50, I want you guys just to go ahead, either make all the linen shirts you want. Like I said, I went with linen just because I can find a crap ton of fiber, and it helped me level up my weaving in the beginning. I basically did 0 to 100-ish, just randomly making things throughout my leveling process until I just started focusing on armor the other day. And I was just making linen and things like that when I had the extra materials. Now, this is something that I'm going to show you a little bit, but I can't really show you with what I have in this settlement. But the biggest thing when it comes to making armor is to make sure you're using the lowest quality materials you can. Okay, because the XP value is not going to change depending on which material you're used. Now, I would love to see that from Amazon in the future. So if I was making a infused silk glove and I used, say, phoenix weave, runic leather, and asmodium, I would love to see a skyrocket in XP making that product, because it does take so much longer to get those materials. But as of right now, as of this video being released on December 13th, 2021, that is not the case. All right, Amazon, if you're listening, yo, you should probably do it. It would help out. It would be great. All right, give people a reason to make those higher tier items just like you want. But all right, we'll go back to this. All right, so we want to use linen shirts. We want to use linen. That is the lowest you can use for any sort of weaving fabric. All right, for your leathers, you want to use coarse leather. Okay, and this is going to be at all the levels. We'll still go through them all, show you guys kind of what I'm talking about. All right, and then for your metals, you want to use iron ingots. Those are also the lowest you can go. You can use Fey iron too. I used a lot of Fey iron because my mining luck is up pretty high. I had my yield bonuses going on when I was doing my iron runs, which I will show you. I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do is after I record this video, I'll record my iron run video too. So if you guys need that, it'll be in the channel. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the videos. Give me your comments on these videos. If you guys think I'm doing this wrong, or there's something else that you did that may have given better experience, because I'm just not doing it wrong. I got to 200, so, still doing it right. But, there's some things that may slip through the cracks when I was doing it, or there's something new that was added. Feel free to put it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. I did leave this other recipe up here. We'll talk about it in a second, all right? So you want to use your lowest quality. You do not want to put any of your sources in here, so we don't have to worry about it, unless, and the only caveat I have to this is unless you have lower level people in your guild. All right, I can't say guild instead of company. I hate the word company. All right, we're saying guild, just so y'all know. So like, for example, in my guild, Dark Stags, we have Crackerjack, who is a blast of a person, and he is awesome. He used his transfer token already on a different character, on a different server, so he just made a new character on our server just to play with us. Shout out to Crackerjack, you the real hero, bud. Anyways, as we were going through here, I asked him what level he was, looked at the level requirements for these materials, knew he was running the Fire Staff and Ice Gauntlet, so I started rolling all of the shirts I could with the Intel Max perk on it for him. So we got him a bunch of materials. I think I even got him some sets for his harvesting, his lumberjack stuff, and all of that. So he didn't have to buy those name sets, because those name sets can get expensive, especially if you guys are on a low pop server where people aren't farming them. I know I paid a boatload of money for my chef outfit, and I still don't have the chest piece. All right, so anybody on K-Pacha, you hit that chest piece up to let me know. Shout out your boy. All right. Anyways, we want to go through that. If you guys have people who are doing it, go ahead and put those perks on there. Roll a few for them. Let them choose from what they want. Help out. Be a friend. That's the biggest thing in this game. All right. I don't care what what company you're in, what faction you're on when you're on my server. I make jokes. I make jokes about not liking purple, but yo, some of the coolest dudes I've played with have been purple. Some of the coolest dudes I have played with have been Marauders and green. But you know, a Covenant, you know, you gotta watch out for those covs. Anyways, joking aside, make sure you guys check it out. If anybody's looking for stuff, put it in global. Say, hey, you guys looking for these things? Sell some of it if you can. Try to make some of that money up, all right? But anyways, so you want to use those lowest quality materials. The one that you're going to have to use that's going to be the highest quality is whatever you're making. So if you're making linen shirts, it's going to be weaving category, cloth armor, obviously. So that cloth is going to be your highest material no matter what level it's going to be. So if we take a look, so 0 to 50, make yourselves the linen hand wrappings or the linen gloves. All right, either one of those will be fine. They both give you the same amount of XP. But like I said, you don't want to go with shoes. That's another extra linen. You don't want to go with the bonnet. That's 11 linen, and it's a little bit more XP, but it's not worth it. Because two hand wrappings is 8, and one is 11, and one of the bonnets is 11, which only gives you about double. It is exactly double XP for way more than double the product. All right. It even requires more leather, which you don't want to deal with. Same thing with the legs. Those are 10 linen, 6 leather. So you stick with the gloves. It's going to be your best in terms of mats, or your dress, which will be probably the best in terms of XP. Let me check. Because you have linen there at 22. You actually could probably do, yeah, so it's going to be just about the same. The dress is going to be a little less. So bonnets might be a little better for you guys. But the dress works too. I use the dress personally. But it looks like they did change some things up XP wise. And you're going to get 432 for 2 bonnets, which will be the same cost as the dress, which will be 420. So it's kind of negligent in terms of this. It's only like another, 12 XP. It's not really going to change things. Maybe in the long run it'll be a little bit more, but personally I use the dress. That's just how I was. I didn't feel like making multiple items. It's easier to destroy them, but it looks like the bonnets might be a good way to go. Same thing with the shoes. Shoes might be a little better, honestly. I'll do some more research into that, guys, okay? I'll make an updated video after this. I didn't even look at that. I basically have been making gloves this whole time, all right? That's my real advice to y'all. Just suck it up. I know it's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be your quickest way to level for the materials that you get. And on low pop servers, materials are going to be more expensive than the tax costs, all right? I was making 115 gloves for about 200 gold. On the top tier infused. All right. So personally, I think gloves are the way to go. If y'all want to explore other options, please do. I don't want to give you bad advice because I have not researched which one is the best. Like I said, from the little looks we just did here, the leggings might be okay in terms of XP value. All right. So let's continue. You guys want to use the sateen next. Now, sateen's going to be from 50 to 100 until you get to the silk. I personally did not use sateen. Like I said, tanning was very cheap. So from 50 to 100, I used the rugged leather. That is also to caveat, if rawhide is super expensive on your server, it's not super fun to go and get rawhide, all right? If y'all need to, what I did is I came down here also. While I did my linen run here, trying to get all the hemp. There's also buffaloes in there that give you 50 to 60 a piece for rawhide. 4 rawhide makes a coarse leather, and I believe it's 2 coarse leather makes a rugged leather. You're going to use tannin to make the coarse to rugged, okay? So be careful with that. Another piece of advice that I have, I'll show you guys real quick. We'll head up to the storage, and I'll show you kind of what I'm looking at here. This helped me out a lot. Like I said, I did a lot of leather. So you want to make sure you guys get the tanner set, okay? Does not matter what level it is, Okay, you're going to get the 2% yield no matter what tier of pants or anything it is. It's all 2% yield. It's just a spun perk that is on every tanner's item. So if you run across a tanner's shirt, just keep it. Tier 3 stuff, like I said, works great for now. I don't know if they're going to add perks in the future. I hope they do. That'll differentiate between the rest of them. Maybe higher XP. I would love if they would make that tier 5. Give us like a bonus 1% XP on all those items so that it's useful to get more than just the tier 3 of these sets. But those sets are going to be very crucial for getting you a higher yield percentage, because at your max level of leatherworking or weaving or anything like that, I'm going to go over here and show you guys real quick. I know this is going to be a long video. I do apologize. You are going to have a 20% bonus to craft additional items. Okay, and that's almost all the way through. As you go higher, you're going to get less, obviously 13% chance up here for infused leather. If you use the good tannin, it apparently doesn't change at all. All right, so ignore that. But at your lower levels, it's going to change, all right? So your infused leather is not going to change. Your runic leather, obviously, is not going to change because that's one of your components itself. Now, the thing that I'm talking about here is that set. All right, you have 5 pieces, 2% a piece. All right, so that's 10% extra that you're going to get for bonus items. So I believe with that and using aged tannin on rugged leather, you can actually make more rugged leather than you are trying to make. I believe it's like 106 or 109% bonus. So that helps out drastically. You're basically going to take that amount that you're using for coarse leather and make it into rugged leather at the same amount or higher. So that's going to help you with your resource gathering. Okay? And also that set does work for runic leather too. I have made 10 runic leather and gotten 11. So keep that in mind, okay? But we want to make sure that we're doing all that. Like I said, I use the rugged leather gloves. The rugged leather gloves are going to be what I used for leveling up from 50 to 100. Honestly, I think I used it for a little over 100 until I looked at the XP values. So my mistake, please don't make it. All right. So 50 to 100, you're going to use the rugged leather gloves, or you're going to use your silk gloves. Also can use the gauntlets over in the forge if you guys have the steel for it. Steel wasn't too difficult, and iron wasn't too difficult. So those are definitely good interchangeable ones for those first two. I did make some steel and some iron on those lower levels, just what I had laying around. My iron run produces about 3,500 iron ore per 30-minute run, okay? If you guys have proficiency boosters, it'll be quicker. If you have bigger bags, it'll be a little longer, but I will make that video. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be posted probably right after this one, okay? I also make one for my silkweed run that I do. Produces about 1,600 silkweed in less than a half hour. So I'll post that too to kind of help you guys out when you're making the silk. All right. So we, if you guys want to go that way, go ahead. Go through and do the sateen. If you want to go through weaving, like I said, make sure you use the lowest tier leather, which is still going to be coarse leather. It's going to be coarse leather all the way through. Okay. If you are using the cloth, and if you are using the leather, it's going to be just linen the whole way through, just iron ore the whole way through. Okay, so don't go wasting your high tier mats on it. I did a couple times when I got close to levels, you know. just wanted to get it done, didn't want to hit it, or didn't want to go and hit different nodes, so I used some higher tier stuff. But that was also me spinning some stuff for Crackerjack and some of the other lower level people on the server. All right, so go through and do those, and then from 100 to 150, you're going to either use your layered leather or you're going to use silk. Again, we want to use gloves for the best XP values, or like I said, you could use the hats. They seem to be pretty good. The pants seem to be decent on XP also, if you guys want to use more materials. But it's going to cost you. I mean, 4 here. Okay, we have 4 leather. 1,500 XP at a level 100. All right, so 4 layered leather, 1,500 XP. You go to the hats, it's going to be 11 layered leather for 3,000 XP. So double XP, but more materials. A lot more materials, especially when you're making hundreds of them. Okay? just look at me. Hundreds. Okay, now that that's sunk in, and I've lost everybody who doesn't grind in this video, it's going to take hundreds to do it, all right? It's just not going to be a quick process unless you have people who are helping you with these materials, or you got that ducats to spend on the market, all right? My boys helped me a little bit with materials, but shout out to Crispy Tater, shout out to Papa. Y'all hit me up with that 6K gold at the end, and that pushed it right over that 200. Thank you very much, boys. Appreciate it. Papa, hope you're enjoying that Void Band armor now, though. But anyways, we are going to use all your layered leather. And be careful here, boys and girls. Like, make sure you guys are watching your XP every level. I know some people go through and they just spam that space bar and pop through all of what they're making and see where their XP is at. But I'm telling you, please don't do that. Do it if you're not close to 150, you're not close to that 100, not close to level 50. You want to switch to the higher tier mats the next level. So if you're making 100 gloves but you only need 50 to level from 100 to 150, those are materials that you can use to craft the materials you need for the next level, all right? Because layered leather is going to make you your infused leather. So if you aren't blowing that extra, say you're doing 50, that's 200 layered leather. If you're doing 50 extra gloves on the layered level just because you want the XP, those can be switched into the infused leather. And with that bonus from the tanning set and the bonus from you being level 200 in your leather working, that is going to make a big difference in the amount of layered leather you're going to need for the more infused leather, okay? So if you have the layered leather laying around, you won't have to buy it off the market. You won't have to grind to craft it. I am going to talk about a couple things real quick. Maybe I'll make you know what I'll do is I'll make another video too about how to get thick hide really quick for the layered leather. I'll do that after this, all right? We're going to do a morning of videos today, boys and girls. But make sure that you're stopping those crafts as soon as you hit those top levels and switching over to the next one, all right? It's going to save you guys time is the biggest thing. It's going to save you tons of time, especially with y'all who are watching this. This is Monday, so tomorrow on Tuesday is going to be the Winter Convergence event, and I believe they're bringing the expertise system also over from the PTR. I'll make an updated video once they release the patch notes for tomorrow's patch. You're going to want to make sure that you're making those high-tier materials too, especially if you're at 200 so you can get the caches. All right, people who don't know about the expertise system and how it's going to work, basically it's going to be a prestige system. So once you hit over 200, you're going to still get that XP for your items, and there's going to be 3 caches each level above that. I also made an expertise system video if you guys want to check that out on the channel. It'll explain a little bit as to what's going on. I need to make an updated one. They did update a couple things with gear score changes because of thoughts from the PTR for people. Also, if you guys have not been on the PTR, give them your feedback. They listen. All right, this is the one game that I have played where they seriously listen to feedback. All right, so we're at 28 minutes now. I'm going to make this a little quicker for you guys, okay? From 150 to 200, you're going to make your infused leather gloves, or you're going to make your infused silk gloves. Now, this is where I kind of changed things up myself, because the infused silk was so much cheaper on my server. I didn't feel like grinding it all, and like I said, my boys gave me that little stimmy for the Timmy at the end there, and helped me get up all the way by I bought a crap ton of infused silk and just made a crap ton of gloves. Now, you want to be careful with the infused silk because you do not want to make these infused silk robe hand wrappings. All right? That is not a good idea. You want to make the gloves. They use less materials, and they're the same exact value in terms of XP. So use the gloves. Okay? When it comes to making regular items, I don't know if these hand wrappings are going to be better in the top tier stuff or anything like that. It looks like they are, because these ones only go up to 525 right now. as your max. And the robe hand wrappings are going to go up to the 600 over here. So it looks like down the line when you're making actual armor for people, those infused silk ones are going to be a little better. I also use the Shade Walker. Shade Walker is probably what I'm going to make for my boys, but that is what it is. That's besides the point at this moment. But make sure you guys are using the infused silk gloves and not the hand wrappings from the robe. All right? Okay. And that's going to get you from level 150 to 200. All right? They're going to be expensive. That's just how it is. The infused silk gloves here in Windsward are $5.74 a piece. Okay? And you're making hundreds of these to get to 200. It's going to get pricey. Do some runs. If you guys are in a down economy, I made another video. Our server's pretty dead, but I'm still making over 5K a day. All right. I made another video for it. If you guys are doing this, my advice would be, if you're not having a lot of money in your server, these low tier mats that you're getting to craft your higher tier mats to make these gloves, sell half, craft half. Okay. It will help a lot. People buy low tier materials no matter what server you are on. All right. So that's about it for this video. Kind of wanted to let you guys know what I did. There's one last tip I want to give everybody, and this will show me if you guys stay to the end or not. You know what I mean? When you guys are making all of these on all of your levels, doesn't matter if you're making linen, everything like that, there is a replica pieces that you can make from the dungeons. All right? They give you a heck of a lot more XP. So you're looking at your gloves here. These are the tier 3 gloves from Armine or Amrine. You are going to need the colligated. I don't know how to say that. Sorry. Blood. Okay, this resource is from the dungeon itself. If you are looking for it on the market, you need to have one in your inventory. Click on that one as a sell order. It'll tell you the price that people are selling it for and search in your market for that price. These materials, as of this video, do not show up in your market. Okay? So you're going to have to buy them, put it up in global, say, hey, anybody want to get rid of some of these? Buy them. So to show you your gloves, these are tier 3, so these are sateen gloves. Again, lower level stuff for leathers and metals are going to help out a lot. You're going to get 855 XP for this glove compared to, we don't want robes, we want the gloves, sateen gloves, compared to 405 for your tier 3 sateen gloves, all right? So you're going to get, what, almost double, if not double? Let's see, 405, 855, yeah, over double XP just for these 10 calculated, I don't know, blood. All right, if you guys know how to say that word, put it in the comments. Let me know. Please help me out. Same thing. We got the obelisk stuff. So that's gonna be from Starstone. Is where you're gonna get these materials. Those are also gonna be 850 a piece. Sateen, very easy to do. It's also going to be you can do those with the rugged leather, same value, double. Ship guard is, you can see these levels too. They're 10 higher than the level of glove they're making. All right, so if you get to level 100, you can't just make these immediately. You're going to have to get up to level 110 to make them. But then again, 3,192 XP for a tier 4 glove from the depths stuff. So you're going to have the corrupted talismans. And that compared to your layered leather glove is double. All right. I didn't learn this myself, and this is why I'm sharing this secret with you guys, until I had gotten up high enough, and there is no way I found any spectral dust or any sticky vines on anybody in my server at all. I personally have never ran Genesis, and I've never ran Lazarus because I'm trying to get my watermark up high enough on my life staff. Shout out to my healers to be able to pull that level 600 life staff out of there, so I don't have to run it multiple times just to get that life staff in terms of drops. If I run it now, I'll get like a 520-ish drop from it, which is just not good enough for me at what I need. All right, so that's my last tip for you guys. These are 9,576 armor or XP for the armoring compared to the 4,536. All right, so that is going to be a huge lifesaver when it comes to materials and it comes to your time leveling up armoring. So if you guys have a big enough company, shout out to them that you need all those refining materials from the dungeons, and get some of them. It's going to help you out drastically. But if you guys liked what you heard, please make sure you let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. I know this is a long video. I do apologize. I wanted to get as much information into you guys as possible to help out with the leveling for this. I know it can be a pain in the butt, but it really, really, really helps to watch these videos and get some advice before you sit there and grind for weeks trying to get this up rather than a couple of days. All right. So appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what you think, or any other alternate routes that you guys did to level up the armoring. I know people do also do the missions for XP. These help out on the lower levels, along with town boards for different armors that will give you XP also. Last piece of advice there. I did forget to say that. I apologize. But I also I stream over on Twitch, WierdRedBeard. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.